Hello everyone, it's your girl Asia for Roman Reigns Fangirl channel. Welcome back to my channel. So quick little update before I get into this character deep dive video. I just want to say that I am no longer going to be making the Breaking Bad video, and my reasons are is because I realize I'm never going to make time for it because I have so much Degrassi content I want to make, so I'm just never going to get the time to do it. And B, when I did make Breaking Bad content from the beginning, when I first started my channel, none of you guys were really interested when it came to me discussing those topics, so I just decided that I'm not going to make a video and put all my heart and creative into it if you guys are not going to watch it or be interested. So that's just how I feel. So as far as this video goes today, today's video is about another Degrassi deep dive I want to do. We're doing the last three characters I want to talk about in Degrassi. Those last three characters I want to talk about is Maya Matlin, Miles Hollingsworth III, and Drew Torres. We're going to actually be doing, I really decided I'm going to talk about all three of them today. Might as well just go ahead and clear them all up. The first one I'm going to talk about is Maya. And before I start reviewing or start doing deep dive episodes for season 12, I'm going to do the premiere episodes for season 11. We're gonna do Boom Boom Pow Pow. They are part one and part two episodes. They're episodes 1 and 2 of season 11. And I'm also gonna be reviewing episode 5 of season 11. It is also another Drew and Bianca episode. So we're just gonna go ahead and just talk about the entire storyline from the beginning of the season that's involving them. That'll be the end of me talking about season 11, and we're going to move on to season 12. And I'm thinking, since I'm no longer making the Breaking Bad video, I'm going to start reviewing the seasons for Degrassi, because there's no need to wait, no need to keep progressing it. I'm going to go ahead and just get started as fast as possible. I'm going to start recording season 1 as fast as I can to talk about it, and upload it as soon as I can for you guys. So today's character we're going to talk about today is Maya Matlin. Maya is also another female character in Degrassi that I really love with my entire heart. Now, I didn't think she was really all that interesting when she first came in Degrassi. Like in season 11, they didn't give her the best storylines. And I have mentioned that whenever I made the Degrassi deep dive episodes. For the most part, her character was really mostly just all about music and being in love with music, which is like I didn't have a problem with that being her passion, but it's like I wanted to know more about Maya. And it's like when season 12 started to happen, that's when you really got to see her character a little bit more, got to see her develop more as a character, especially when she started dating Cam. She started growing into her own as a character, and I really loved her and Cam's relationship. I loved the whole storyline with her and Zig in season 12 when she kissed him and him having feelings for her. Um, when Cam committed suicide, I think that's really when Maya's character really started to shine bright. I think that's when Olivia was really starting to get into her character. I think the Cam's storyline for Maya, I think the Cam storyline did something really good for Maya because I think it made her more interesting as a character. I feel like had she not been dating Cam and had he not did what he did, I think my character probably would have been probably one of the least favorites of Degrassi, or probably not one of the most talked about. Because I feel like had they not did what they did, they probably would have just made her character all about music. So I'm really glad that they actually did make her date Cam, and he did what he did because it made her character. I don't want to say that I'm glad that he did what he did, because when Cam did what he did, it saddened me to my heart because he really was one of my favorite characters in Degrassi as far as male characters are concerned. Um, if you guys like, I could do a deep dive about him. You feel me? Like I could do that. Um, but I feel like Cam having the storyline he have and Maya being with him was going to affect her no matter what. Had he not done what he did or him doing what he did, it affected her. And I feel like once he did do that, it did make his character a lot. It did make her character a lot more interesting. You feel me? Like her character developed, it progressed, and Maya has some of the greatest part one and part two episodes to ever be developed, to ever be written and directed in Degrassi. Zombie Part 1 and Part 2 are really some good ass episodes. I love the A plot and the B plot of those episodes. they're really good and interesting. Maya was definitely the star when it came to those episodes. I feel like, since the whole community really shit on her for her not grieving Cam's death, right? I guess because people think there's a right and wrong way to grief, but a lot of fans didn't like how she didn't have a reaction to it, that she was in shock. So I feel like when they did those episodes, you finally got to understand where she was coming from. I don't really think anybody understood where Maya was coming from, because at the end of the day, how was she supposed to act? I get it. She said she could have been more sad. When honestly, I do feel like she was sad. She just wasn't showing it because, like she kept saying, she's never been the girl of a guy who committed suicide before. So I think to her, everything was still kind of progressing. Like she was still trying to accept that Kim is no longer here, right? And I feel like when she finally broke down and told Katie and her mom why, why she's acting the way she was angry and sad. You feel me? She was sad that the guy that she loved did what he did. She never got to say goodbye to Kim. She like he was just gone. Like with the whole Cam storyline, it really fucks you up and it really makes you feel like, damn, you could be talking to someone that one day and then they could be gone the next. Because that's literally what happened when it came to Cam. Maya and Cam literally spent the whole night together, and then the next morning, she got a text from him saying that they're done and it's over. And then literally the next day, that school, he was gone. She's getting news that her boyfriend just committed suicide. Like, that's fucking insane. That's crazy. And it's just like, what is she supposed to say? Like, she's never been that girl who's just had a boyfriend that died before. So I feel like Cam's death really developed her character a lot more. Like I said, she really started getting into her character. Her acting became top notch. Because before the Cam storyline and her like being interested in him, she was just getting main. Like her storylines were just purely about music and getting puberty and things like that. And it's like that's somewhat cool, her getting adolescence, but it's like I need her to get something to make her character really pop, because you can already tell them bringing a freshman in was them trying to like pick who's going to be their next it girl once Claire and all of them are no longer here and everything like that. So I'm actually glad that they did pick Maya, because she was really the right choice. And I really love Maya's character in season 13. A lot of people, I think this is the season where a lot of people started to hate Maya, I guess, because they feel like she was overbearing or overstepped her boundaries. Number one, I feel like whatever Maya did when it came to Zig, she cared. Like I said, I used to be the same way. I feel like sometimes Maya needs to learn how to mind her own business. If she did meddle or overbear, it's really because she cared. You feel me? She doesn't mean to do it to get in your business. She's doing it because she cares. She really wants to know why Zig was living in an abandoned house. I get it if it's really none of her business, but she cares. That's why she asking. If she didn't give a fuck, she probably would have been quiet. And for her to let Zig move into her house after he was being a complete asshole to her the entire first half of the show, she better than me, because that nigga would have been still living in an abandoned house. I don't give a fuck. The back and forth, the love triangle with Maya, Zig, and with Miles, Maya, and Zig gave what it needed to give in season 13. Hands down, the best storyline in that season. That storyline was eating, and it ate, and it left nothing, no crumbs, nothing. It gave what it needed to give. Maya and Miles' relationship gave what it needed to give. It was drama, it was everything, it was top tier. Granted, I know Maya did not expect the next guy that she dated to be filled with so much, I guess, problems, but it is what it is. And I don't blame Maya for breaking up with Miles. It was a lot of red flags with him when they were dating, and it just was a lot that just set her off to where I feel like, yeah, she better off for him, because Miles was just doing a lot. And some of it I don't necessarily blame him, because had she put Zig in his place, Miles wouldn't have done some of the shit that he did. He wouldn't feel like he needed to get crazy and get jealous and have to chin check Zig, had she told Zig to back off. But I feel like she didn't, because she did have feelings for Zig. And I love the little build up for Maya and Zig's, the growth of their relationship starting to bloom in season 13. And in season 14, Maya, I feel like for the most part, she didn't really do much season 14. Like, when I actually go back and look at it, she didn't really do much. Like, Yeah, she didn't really do much up until like the storyline where her and Zig really started to happen. That's when it's like her character, like what they started to do something with her character. Like once they started building her and Zig up to be a relationship, that's when she was getting screen time. I mean, yes, she had a whole thing with Miles when he crashed the car because he was high and them going to a police station and that. But like just her character alone, she didn't really get a lot of screen time unless it really involved Miles or when they finally decided to build her and Zig up. And I am one of those fans who really did not like the episode where she was dreaming about Miles, about him hurting herself, because I thought it was coming from like an obsessive place. Because I felt like, you know, her and Miles broke up. Why does she care so much about his well being? But honestly, I feel like it's because, you know, Cam left a scar on her and left so much trauma on her that it fucked her up. That I feel like wish the traits that she might have looked over or she did not pay that attention to when it came to Cam, she was seeing in Miles. I do feel like Miles was depressed. I don't know too much about if he was self harming or suicidal, but whatever she was seeing in Miles, she was obviously connecting those traits from Cam to him to where I don't think she was wrong for telling her mom about she keep having dreams where Miles is hurting himself. And it really did make me upset when Miles came in there and like screamed her head off because he felt like she was melting. But like I said, if she ever does something like that, it's because it's coming from a place where she cares. She's not doing it to just get in your business. You feel me? At the end of the day, you are an ex-boyfriend of her, and when y'all was dating, she still did love. She loved and cared for you. If I didn't love or care for you, I still would not give a fuck about your well-being. So I wasn't really a big fan of when Miles came in there and screamed her head off like that. I thought that was really jerky of him. But if he feel like it's none of her fucking business what's going on in his life, that's up to him. But then at the end of the day, he ran to her when he had shit going on, right? When he cussed out Tristan the way he did, you know, she was with him when he crashed the car when he was hot, and then he feel like he could only depend on her when it came to telling her stuff about what was going on between him and his dad. So at the end of the day, he screamed at her for getting in his business, yet that was the only person he could be, that was the only person he trusted with when it came to what was going on at home. It's kind of crazy. And then Maya's character in Next Class, I'm not going to lie, was kind of a mixed bag because from season one, in season one and season two, they did nothing with her character. Her character was really all about music. Hunter cyberbullied her in season one. She did nothing in season two, but just her character was just all about music in season two, like literally, and it was just like, okay, what the fuck is they gonna do for her character to make her pop? And I really feel like season three for Next Class is where I feel like she did some of the best acting she's ever did in Degrassi. Her whole like depression storyline and just like being obsessed with death was some of the greatest shit I've ever seen in Degrassi. That storyline was really intense. It was very dark. I loved every minute of it. It was just great. Like it was really really good. So I have to feel like Maya's character in Degrassi is really good. I don't know why her character gets a lot of hate. People find her annoying, whatever it is. Um, Maya was going through real life shit, so I can't necessarily blame her for some of the stuff that she was doing. But Maya is a 10 out of 10 character for me. I love Maya. Maya is a great character. There's nothing bad I could say about her character at all. I loved her every minute she was on my screen. So that's that. What do you move? I loved every minute of her when she was on my screen. Um, but if you guys want me to go on a little side note, I loved Cam too. I thought Cam was a really great character for his short period of time in Degrassi. He was a great male character, and I feel like for his character to just have one season and for him to do all the excellent acting that he did, some of Cam's scenes in Degrassi were very fucking intense from his depressing storyline. And I just felt like his character was also really great. And I definitely agree when he was in the votes. He definitely is an S tier character. Maya is an S tier character. I know some people put her in B and C tier, but she's an S tier character for me. Cam is too. That's all we got to say. Catch you guys in my next video.